He doesn't apologize. He doesn't contextualize it. He doesn't say anything is wrong that he ever does. And then you're surprised that people come at him and to say that it's overreaction? It's nonsense. It's
no,
political malpractice in the main.
At all. I'm actually not surprised at all.
Mean-spirited. It's dark and it's ugly.
Please like, subscribe, and share. Chris Cuomo and Katie Pavlich clashed in a heated debate over Donald Trump and allegations of racism. We'll break down the key moments, hear both sides, and I'll share my thoughts. Let's get into it.
Katie herself. Good to have you. Happy Friday.
Hey, Chris. Thank you for having me. Good to see you. Happy Friday.
What does this mean? Not so much the monkey business. What does this intense messaging that the elections were rigged mean about the disposition towards the midterms for the administration?
Well, first, I think it's really important to point out that the outrage over the depiction at the end of a scroll video, which then automatically went to another video, was not vindictive in nature. Was it a mistake? Yes. Did it cause a problem for the White House all day today? Yes. Is the president upset about it? And there's new reporting out tonight that there are a number of White House staffers who are upset that this occurred because of the narrative all day was not on the fact that last night President Trump announced Trump RX, which means that medication prices are going to go down for Americans because Europeans now are going to pay their fair share when it comes to investment in drugs and the ROD that comes into the research of those drugs. We're not going to be subsidizing Europeans anymore for our medication. They're not talking about the Dow that hit an all-time high today. They had that
the Benghazi
press conference
arrest
from the Department of Justice by Benghazi, exactly, where they brought justice after 14 years for 4 Americans who were killed in that attack. And so, yes, it was not handled the best way. They should have immediately investigated it and realized that it was an automatic scroll into a video, which, as you did play, depicted a number of people and animals. Is it silly? Yes. But was it vindictive, and does it classify the president of the United States as a racist? No. And I think if you look at his policies, people in his cabinet, the people who have visited the White House, including Nicki Minaj recently, to call him a racist or to imply that he is one based on that video is very disingenuous and lacking context.
Well, too bad. Because let me tell you something. If you don't want somebody to call you that, then you don't do things like this. He didn't show Biden and everybody else. They just showed the Obama part. So it doesn't matter what it clicks and scrolls to.
But they didn't do it on purpose,
this is an unforced
Chris,
error.
Which is the issue. It is an unforced error, but that's very different than being vindictive about it and doing it on purpose. It is an unforced error.
Well,
it's very different than purposely clipping it to show that.
Well, first of all, it was absolutely purposely clipped to show the Obama part. It was just part of a much bigger video. That's not the beginning. Well, it's not the beginning of the video.
It was an automatic scroll.
It's not the first thing you would see.
It was an automatic, right, because it's the end of the video, which automatically scrolled into the next video. That's what happened.
Oh, no, I know. I understand how buffering and queuing works. What I'm saying is somebody made a choice.
It wasn't a vindictive portrayal of the Obamas.
You call it what you want.
And what happened...
And let me tell you something. If I do something like that, if I did that, first of all, I'd probably get fired. But if I did that, guess what people would call me? A bigot. You know why? That's a bigoted thing to put out. That's why. And we both know it.
I agree, Chris. I agree with you that if they purposely only clipped this portion on purpose, it would be bigoted. It would be disgusting. But they didn't purposely clip this portion on purpose. It was part of another video that got scrolled into automatically after they were portraying the other video, which is the one they were clipping for the feed. They didn't watch it all the way to the end. So there's a difference between vindictively clipping a video to show the Obamas this way, which is not what happened. It was an automatic scroll to a video which depicts a whole bunch of other politicians in these ridiculous animal costumes. Is that silly politics? Yes, but to argue it was done because President Trump is a racist and to portray the Obamas this way purposely,
I'm not arguing that he is a racist. I'm not saying he's a racist. Listen, Katie, words matter. Context matters, as you say. You want the defense of it, use it as a sword and a shield. So if you do something like this, this is a racist thing to do. It doesn't mean you're a racist necessarily, but what you did invites the racism, okay? And what's more important is, you know what I do if I did this by mistake? You know what you do if you did this by mistake? You say, I'm sorry. That's what you say, because you are mortified. You are mortified. Not him. Not him. I did nothing wrong. I have nothing to apologize for. I don't care if you're offended. And then Katie, and then Levitt comes out there, bloodlessly and says, oh, this is all on you, fake outrage. Senator Tim Scott didn't think that. Is he a dope?
Well, Chris, the best thing for them to do was to say, this was a mistake. This was not done on purpose. Yep. Here's the full video that was scrolled into the previous video that was being posted by a staffer on the president's True Social account. That's not what they did. And then it caused a problem for them all day long. But again, I'm very glad you just showed the full context of the video, which portrays a number of politicians in animal costumes. So not sure how you can make the case that it was only racist against 2 people portrayed in the video and not the rest of them portrayed in the video.
Okay, if you want it to be disgusting and prejudicial towards everybody, I'll concede the point. Let me ask you something else.
It's racist against Trump to say he's a lion costume? I mean, this doesn't make any sense.
Please like, subscribe, comment, and share. In my view, Katie Pavlich spends more time defending Trump than addressing the criticism. She argues the post was an accident, but critics point to a broader pattern of similar social media posts from Trump or his team. Many of Trump's supporters openly enjoy his confrontational style, so it's fair to question whether these incidents are simply mistakes or part of that approach. Rather than dismissing the criticism, I think it would be more honest to acknowledge why so many people see it differently.
Fact pattern? Where's the fact pattern?
No, look, Katie, I know you need that. Katie, I know you need that to give you some kind of high ground that this is being taken too far, but this is on you. He doesn't apologize. He doesn't contextualize it. He doesn't say anything is wrong that he ever does, and then you're surprised that people come at him and to say that it's overreaction? It's nonsense. It's political malpractice in the main.
I'm actually not surprised at all.
It's mean-spirited. It's dark. And it's ugly, and everybody knows it. Let's move on.
I'm not surprised at all that this happened today. I said that. I said they should have done it better from the beginning. I'm not surprised there was outrage.
Well, they left it up for 12 hours.
It wasn't done vindictively.
Look, Katie, all I'm saying is you can say that. I don't know that. If you know how it happened, okay, great.
Please like, subscribe, comment, and share. In my opinion, Katie Pavlich was more focused on defending Trump than addressing the criticism. Chris Cuomo pushed back throughout the debate, but I think he could have challenged her even more directly. Critics argue that controversial posts like these fit a broader pattern, while Pavlich maintained this one was simply a mistake.
What do you think? Did Katie Pavlich make a convincing case? Or did Chris Cuomo have the stronger argument? And should Cuomo have pressed her even harder? Let me know your thoughts in the comments, and thanks for watching.